Welcome to episode 40 of Full Throttle, the Presidio Group's automotive industry podcast. I'm your host, Jason Stein, Director of Multimedia and Events at Presidio. On a regular basis, Full Throttle serves as the industry's meeting point for great conversations with leaders across the automotive world.
And this is a well-known business practice, well-known problem that CDK has been practicing and doing for years now. And you may know already, they settled a couple of lawsuits, massive amount of capital before that. But anyway, the point is we feel our grounds are very strong about we have data, in fact, we've provided to the court. We'll continue to give a lot more. And we are asking is stop the unfair business practices. When a customer chooses to migrate out, give them their data.
They were once characterized as the industry's biggest disruptor, a relative unknown in a space dominated for decades by two extra large players. Their selling point was the system. It wasn't a dealer management system. It was a technology system, an end-to-end solution for dealers to minimize confusion, cut back on extraneous efforts, and maximize customer satisfaction. Less than a decade later, Tekion is no longer the new entrant, or even the disruptor, perhaps, but maybe an additional player in an ultra-competitive space. After raising more than $500 million since its 2016 launch, Tekion is now approaching some significant milestones: short-term profit, an expansion beyond its 2,000 dealerships, and an array of products with the goal of efficiency at the forefront for its retail network. Jay Vijayan, a former Tesla chief information officer, is driving the changes. Tekion ended 2023 having reached a deal with Asbury Automotive Group to begin using Tekion's technology, and started this year with an announcement and a partnership with Ken Garff Automotive Group. There are growing pains, including multiple lawsuits that are going back and forth with CDK and Tekion in the last few months. But today, Jay gives his view on the DMS space, also his desire for innovation and the opportunity to continually reinvent the DMS. Is he a disruptor? Yes, he still is. But there is much more to the story. And today, he shares the Tekion update on Full Throttle.
I'm Jay Vijayan, founder and CEO of Tekion. And Jason, thank you for the opportunity having me here in a Full Throttle podcast. Looking forward to our conversation.
It's wonderful to have you with us, Jay. I know we missed each other in the snowy circumstances around New Orleans, but you had a pretty good show, you said. NADA turned out well for you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. It did start very rough, right, Jason? I think you went through that as well. So it was quite rough with travel cancellations and, people, even our people, a lot of people, went through really tough time getting there. So a couple of things happened. I was in touch with NADA. I did call, Mike Stanton, the CEO of NADA, to check, how things are going. The NADA team was very supportive, and they were doing their best to get, things back on track. I think few adjustments really helped. While it started really rough, as I mentioned to you, I think the event went through really well in the middays, which is like, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was usually light. It's usually light for us. It continued to be, good amount of busy on Sunday as well. So we had pretty good overall for how it started. We had a great NADA. Our booths were quite busy on Friday as well as Saturday. Our demo stations, which is what most important for dealers, did show up. Every dealer who showed up was very serious. It's not that they were not serious, but this is like at a different level. So anyone who came in really took that effort to be there. They were very engaged. Usually demos went much longer. We signed a few deals. As you know, DMS is not something where someone could sign on site, but yeah, I think that's a great sign. Sign for us that people who came in were very serious when they came in. So we had quite a few DMS agreements signed on site.
Give me your view of where DMS is today. You've been on this journey now for long enough to understand it fully, completely. You've made a lot of progress. There have been obstacles along the way, which we will discuss, and opportunities. But where is the state of DMS today?
Yeah, great question. See, while it's a very relatable term, I'll tell you this. The term dealer management system is so old. I'll tell you why, because DMS systems is a dealer management system. So dealer's business is end to end. You can't have a DMS saying, I'll do accounting really, really well, but I'm not the best in selling cars. I'm not the best in servicing your customers. I'm not the best in engaging with your customers. That's when then all of these point solutions came about. That's not the problem, but the problem became exponential over the years. The DMS companies have not innovated so much. So that number continued. I mean, I've heard from dealers, they use 100 solutions to run their dealership group. You may have, I'm sure you're deep into talking to many dealers.
Sure.
It goes from anywhere from 20, 25 to all the way up to 100. For a fact, I've heard it from one of the largest dealer groups that they inventoried and they have 100 solutions to operate their dealerships, which is crazy, as you could imagine, right? Think about this, whether we like it or not, people work so hard to deliver the best experience for their customers. But how can they ever be possibly, when they log into 9, 10 different systems to sell a car, can do? So from our perspective, I can talk about, I think we've also created some healthy competition for others to build something useful, valuable. So from our side, we have really brought that vision to life. One tech stack for the core business. We've also created a partner cloud, which at our customer's choice, they can still integrate with any partner, right? So there are so many you have to do for, lenders and, F&I insurance. You have to have trade-in integrations. You have, credit integrations. There are so many integrations. Of course, technology partners as well. There is hardware vendors. There is software vendors. So things that align to deliver the business goal. We have over 300 partners on our APC partner cloud. And first time in the industry, Jason, as a DMS company, we've delivered something called as Integration Hub to our dealers. Because, data is a very sensitive topic for dealers. It's an important one as well. So we give full visibility to the dealers on all of their data and almost self-service for them to see which data should go out, which is coming in. They can turn it on, turn it off. Anyway, we've come a long way to bring our vision to life. Sometimes just the word DMS does disservice because of how the incumbents have operated in this space. So we have delivered a true end-to-end solution, which in traditional terms, DMS plus service lane plus CRM plus payroll, you can do plus. F&I, everything comes together in one platform. And we still, as an open platform, we are still open in integrating with other partners of choice who are aligned with that goal of delivering best customer experience and the best operational efficiency for our dealers.
Where are you on your road to fulfilling the vision that you'd like to fulfill?
Yeah. There are two things. So from a platform perspective, I would say we are at 90 to 95%. Not from a functionality perspective, by the way. I want people to misunderstand. We run the world's largest dealership. We run some of the largest dealership groups in the country and in the world. And you've seen, of course, our announcement with Asbury last year and with Ken Garff this year. We are growing. So functionality, yes, there is always going to be something we are going to learn, and I will always keep it at 90% because we are going to be a company that will keep innovating. There is always things to innovate, always things to develop. AI is a big one, and we'll talk about it, I guess, later in our conversation because that's an important one. We've been investing on that for quite some time, and we will always continue to invest. So from that perspective, I would say we are at like 90 to 95%. But at the same time, in terms of growing our customer base, that's a very long-term thing. So we will continue to grow our customer base. I openly talked about in NADA about how we kind of doubled our dealer counts, and we are over 2,000 now, and that number continues to grow. So we have a long way to go in terms of making a true difference in market share and adopting, having more dealers on the platform. But when you relate it to a technology platform and what we want to accomplish, we are 90 to 95% there.
Okay, that's fair. Let's talk about the Garf announcement. Came out earlier this year, right at the kind of the turn of the calendar. It all focuses around AI. And what does it mean to the company? What does it mean in terms of growth, opportunity, and maybe technical ability?
Yeah, great question. We are thrilled about that partnership. The nice thing about partnerships like this is it's not that, I'm sure being in the industry, big group like Garf, which we respect a lot, don't take decisions so lightly. They already run Tekion in 8 of their rooftops. We have been having this relationship for the last 2 to 3 years. It was exploring more and more. So the more we get to know, the more they got to know about the Tekion platform, the more excitement about the future and the partnership. And that's how it turned into the larger partnership, which we announced earlier this year. I visited them a few times, and I recently visited as well, met with their executive team. It's quite exciting from a partnership perspective. They are one of the big groups which is quite excited about the AI features, which is a big plus for an innovative company for us, like a big group. Yeah, we always get great dealers raising their hand, and NADA. Jason, I'll send you the link if you haven't seen it. We announced the first in the industry AI Copilot. Unlike typical announcements in the industry for new products, we already have dealers using it. I had one great dealer coming on the stage and talking about how valuable that AI Copilot for service, for fixed ops, right? So toolless. And in fact, he read a quote from his service advisor and technician on the stage. That's what makes a difference with working with a partner, a technology platform, and a partner like Tekion. And that's what got, I think, I don't want to speak for Garf, but my understanding in discussion with them quite a bit is that's what gets them excited. Not only just what value they get today, but the future on how we keep innovating. And they are ready to partner in engaging at a product development level, working with our teams to give feedback on AI features.
And in terms of product offerings, I know that your intention, Jay, is speeding up implementation deadlines, boosting customer support. More importantly, you've got the capital behind you now. You've raised more than $650 million in financing in less than a decade. And in fact, a $200 million round last July. Do you feel you have the capital, the wherewithal, now the base of retailers, as you said, more than 2,000, to really put product implementation into effect?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Super confident. I'm really, really excited about, the progress we have made and hitting some of the goals that we wanted to hit. And as you mentioned, we were fortunate to raise the capital. Thing is, people who know this industry deeply, Jason, would know how big of an undertaking it is to build a, true DMS and then a true end-to-end platform. That's kind of what we built. It is a big undertaking. And the nice thing is, even the capital that we raised the 200 million, we haven't even, fully, in fact, almost pretty much all of that money is still left for us. So we're in a very good position financially. And I have a very aggressive goal of getting profitable as a company next year. Again, just to be clear, we are very profitable at the unit level, but we keep investing a lot on new products, new regions, new things. I think we are, because the business growth has accelerated so well, it's catching up really well. And we are also tightening some of the areas that we need to tighten. And we're in a great place. Overall, I'm very happy about the progress. I'm very happy about the capital that we have to continue to grow the company at the right levels. I mean, some of these are public. We have almost 400 new recs open, from all departments, right? We are continuing to grow as an organization, but we are also very thoughtful about scaling. And I think I want to address that one additional point in your question is, support is very important. for dealers. So one great thing, Jason, I can even send you the slide. I shared it at an ADA. Typically, this is where companies, it's not that they make mistake. It's sometimes they just don't do the right thing because you don't achieve true scale. I have, from my past life as a corporate leader, I've done scaling a few times, and I know you can never take it for granted. It has to be a very serious, thoughtful, strategic, thoughtful execution. Then the way we have done it is, one measure we do is we measure customer sentiment very, very diligently. While our dealer count has doubled, our customer sentiment has increased by 20%, which is a big plus. And we measure it, we share it with our board. We take accountability and very, very transparent. So that is a good measure where we are improving support significantly. In fact, we are even in support, in addition to growing the team, we are also using AI to make sure that we deliver the right level of support timely for our customers. And we have a partner success team that is also grown. So we have multiple levels of support. So one, we have developed the tool to a certain level where I don't think any other platform or a DMS company has. So literally from the tool, they can engage with our support team, not just a simple chat. They can one click do a screen sharing, which just reduces the time drastically for a user to explain their problem. The support person instantly sees what they're facing and is able to give a resolution for them. So that's one area. Second, we have first in the industry introduced something called as live user sentiment. From the app, every user has a voice. They click and give feedback. And we have a workflow internally we track everyone from support to our product team. And I can go look at and say what actions have been taken. We make it as a theme. If 10 dealers are complaining or 100 dealers are complaining, that's an immediate priority for my team to go attend. So we do that. And then we have partner success teams. We have a full-fledged support center of excellence in our Ohio office. And we have people in India as well. So we operate literally 24/7. So we have over 100 people in our Westchester, Ohio office. And then we have people in India. So that literally all time zones, there is always someone who's able to take a call or answer or give a resolution to our customers. On top of it, we also have a partner success manager because we truly believe in partnerships. Internally, we never call our dealers as customers. We always call as partners. We say that's why we named our team also as partner success, because our success is intertwined with our partner success, which is the dealer in this case. So those are kind of the overview. We've grown all of those teams, and we feel we are in a good trajectory to support the higher growth that is coming ahead as well.
And you believe that partnerships are actually the way forward for you as opposed to pilots now, correct?
Absolutely, yes. And that's kind of that has transformed very well and moving in the right direction.
Other things, it's been a newsy start to the year for you. Actually, even going back to late last year.
Yeah.
In December, you accused CDK in an antitrust lawsuit of monopolizing the market for DMS. CDK has denied the claims and asked a judge to dismiss the lawsuit. And now, just recently, CDK has sued Tekion in U.S. court, accusing it of an illegal cyber hacking campaign to scrape confidential data. Right. What's your response to all of that?
Yeah, let me address. The first is the antitrust is a very serious one because we didn't take that lightly. And honestly, Jason, I don't even have to go into explaining this because the entire industry knows. The dealers know. They just didn't have a choice before. Now they have a choice, very viable choice with the most modern platform at Tekion. This is the unfair business practices has been going on for years. To be honest with you, it's a very easy one for us to go give data to the court for us. So we feel there is very strong merit, and this is a well-known business practice, well-known problem that CDK has been practicing and doing for years now. And you may know already they settled a couple of lawsuits, massive amount of capital before that. But anyway, the point is we feel our grounds are very strong about we have data, in fact, we've provided to the court, and we'll continue to give a lot more. And we are asking is stop the unfair business practices. When a customer chooses to migrate out, give them their data. I'll again underline it's their data. And we say that and we live up to that. Doesn't matter if customer wants to move from Tekion to CDK, we are obligated to give it back to them right away. And we do that, very, very rarely. That doesn't happen. But now when a customer wants to move out, because what they're trying to do is the worst way of holding a customer hostage by holding their data. And then I'm coming to now immediately to what they have filed now is very related, because what they are calling as hacking, which is absolutely not, is we helping a customer, or customer is choosing that I want my data out because I've decided contractually to move out of CDK and signed a contract with Tekion to move my business to run on Tekion platform. So that's exactly what we have been doing. And CDK is putting all kinds of roadblocks for this. And then finally, this lawsuit, that's something, it's an old playbook. They've done it before and they're doing it again. And we feel we have very strong grounds. This is absolutely not hacking, and we'll deal it with in the court. And we feel very confident about it. And so most important thing, we stand behind the right of a dealer to get their own data. And we live by it, as I said.
A former guest on this program, a friend of ours, Chase Frazier, managing partner at FM Capital and an early Tekion investor, said last year that every year for Tekion is pivotal because Jay is still trying to prove to the industry that, quote, we can do this better than the others. You're building the airplane while you're flying the airplane, Chase said. You still building and flying at the same time, Jay?
Great question. Chase is fantastic. He's, Chase and Chase Fraser and Mark Norman. They're great people, by the way. And we appreciate their trust. We are grateful that we earned their trust early. So I think we are in a much better place. Yes, that was the case 2-3 years ago, while we are, building the airplane while we were still flying. At this point, it's more fine-tuning, I would say. Nothing is done until it's truly done. My point is we want to deliver this platform to, pretty much majority of the dealers who can, get the value in the industry. And there's a long way to go. But at this point, I would say we are no more building the plane, at least, I would say in 2025, end of 2024, early 2025, we are fine-tuning it. We are fine-tuning it to ensure we get the best mileage, best range, faster we can get there, without having any problems while we are flying. So that's what I would say. We've come a long way because, as you know, this is public. That's why I'm sharing. Otherwise, we always respect our partners. You could go look up, the statement from, our partner at Asbury, David Holt, publicly said in his analyst call, right? So these things don't happen by accident ever, right? Jason, this is such a hard work the team has put in. So we give a lot of, value to our customers and what they say. And then based on that, we invest and prioritize internally.
Do you consider yourself, I know at one point you were characterized this way, and probably going back to your Tesla days, you know the word well, but do you consider yourself a disruptor, or are you now less of a disruptor and more of the mainstream?
I always want to be a disruptor, to be honest with you, because it's a good thing to be in that mindset, because if you don't, someone else is going to do it. So are you going to wait for someone, or are you going to do it, right? So we have many examples, in other industry like that, companies like Netflix has done this in early days. I believe there is value in having that mindset. So I'll always say we are a disruptor and we want to be that way.
Flying the plane, building the plane, soaring high, being a disruptor. Jay, thank you for telling me all about the latest in the Tekion story, and we wish you a good rest of 2025.
Thank you, Jason. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's a great exchange. Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to staying in touch.
Pleasure. Thank you, Jay. That's the 40th episode of Full Throttle, and a special thanks to my guest, founder and CEO of Tekion, Jay Vijayan. And thanks for listening. For a library of these episodes with industry leaders, go to thepresidiogroup.com. I'm your host, Jason Stein. We'll talk to you again next time.